Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Monday, October 13, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, police probe shooting of woman in Portmore. The St. Catherine South Police have launched an investigation into the shooting of a 48-year-old woman at her home in Brighton, Portmore on Saturday evening. Reports are that about 6 p.m., the woman was at her residence when she was attacked. She was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital, where she has been admitted for treatment. The police say no motive has yet been established for the incident. High school student Talia James missing. The police have activated an Ananda alert for 13-year-old Talia James of Elgin Town, Lucy, Hanover, who has been missing since Friday, October 10. Talia, a student of Harrison Memorial High School in St. James, is of dark complexion and medium build. Reports from the Mount Salem police are that Talia was last seen at a school about 1:50 p.m. wearing a green tunic with yellow stripes, a white blouse, and a pair of black shoes. She has not been heard from since. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is being asked to contact the Mount Salem police at 876-309-6648, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. St. Elizabeth mother and child missing. The police have issued a high alert for 14-year-old Kenalia Burton and her 10-month-old daughter, Kiera Burton, both of Pepper District, St. Elizabeth, who have been missing since Sunday. Kenalia, also known as KK, is of brown complexion, stout build, and about 162 centimeters or 5 feet 4 inches tall. Her daughter, Kiera, also called Blessing, is of brown complexion, a statement said. According to the Santa Cruz police, Kenalia and Kiera were last seen at home around 10:45 a.m. Their mode of dress at the time is unknown and they have not been heard from since. Anyone with information on their whereabouts is being asked to contact the Santa Cruz police at 876-966-2289, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. Mechanic charged after vehicle parts reported missing in St. Anne. A 48-year-old Canadian mechanic has been charged with fraudulent conversion after parts from a customer's Audi motor vehicle were reported missing from a business establishment in Drauxall, St. Anne. The accused, Sebastian Bourgeois of Greenwich Estate, Drauxall, was charged following investigations by the St. Anne police into incidents that occurred between July 7 and August 8, according to a police statement issued on Sunday. Reports are that around 10:30 a.m. on July 7, a man took his Audi Q5 SUV to the establishment for repairs. When he returned in August, he discovered that a pretensioner valued at $328,000 and an ambient light worth $63,000 were missing. Berger was unable to account for the items and a report was made to the police. He is scheduled to appear before the St. Anne Parish Court on Thursday, December 4. Man remanded over Portmore robbery involving imitation firearm. A St. Catherine man who allegedly used an imitation firearm to carry out a robbery in Portmore has been remanded in custody. He is Jeffrey Parnell of Portmore, St. Catherine. Parnell has been charged with robbery with aggravation, using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony, and being in possession of a prohibited weapon with intent to commit injury. When he appeared before Senior Parish Court Judge Janelle Nelson Gale on Friday, Parnell was ordered remanded until November 21, where he is to appear in the High Court Division where jurisdiction lies. Allegations are that on September 28, 2025, Parnell used an imitation firearm to rob the complainant. A report was made to the police and the Parnell was later arrested and charged following a question and answer session. Kingston's mayor urges meal donations to the homeless to be filtered through night shelter. Mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew, Andrew Swaby, is urging people with food intended to be given to the homeless in the nation's capital to channel such donations through the Marie Atkins Night Shelter, citing reports of people donating meals unfit for consumption to individuals living on the street. I am asking people to come to 65 Hanover Street if they have any food to give to the homeless population. We welcome and appreciate your help, but we have a duty of care, said Swaby, citing situations where people are taking leftover food from parties to the homeless, which in many cases is unsuitable. Sometimes the food is there and it gets stale, and so they take it on the street to feed these people. That cannot be. Not because these people are not in a position to help themselves. It means that we're going to give them any and every type of food, said Swaby. Additionally, if you give them the food through our facilities, we will ensure that the garbage is properly disposed of, he continued, alluding to the littering of the roadways, which often follows the donation and consumption of such foods. Swaby was speaking during a ceremony last Thursday to mark World Homeless and World Mental Health Day at the St. William Grant Park in Kingston. The initiative was a partnership between the Kingston and the St. Andrew Municipal Corporation and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. It aimed to raise awareness and connect vulnerable residents with support and resources, and afforded the homeless free medical, dental, medical support, as well as employment and banking opportunities. In the meantime, Swaby, citing the inhumane abandonment of elderly people at places of shelter by their relatives, said Jamaicans should remember they have a duty of care of their elderly loved ones, some of whom have been left at places of safety without visits or communication for extended periods. It is your duty to take care of your family. When you are a child, your mother takes care of you, and now when your parent can't help themselves, we have a duty to take care of them. Every day when I see these things, I wish my mother were alive to continue to show her the love and to treat her how she should be treated. He said that in addition to providing daily, well-needed services, the KSAMC has been partnering with the police in the capital city to safeguard the less fortunate. This even as they battle the scourge of crime in the island's main commercial district. Even though they have been dealing with the whole issue of crime, the people have come out and they have shown their support for us. They have assisted the municipality, and we want to thank them fully as we continue to work together. In the meantime, Desmond McKenzie, Minister of Local Government and Community Development and a Member of Parliament for West Kingston, said the government would be taking action against the people who abandon their relatives on the city's streets, leaving them for states and other agencies to deal with them. At the same time, he promised a survey on Jamaica's homeless situation, which will, among other things, inform the erection of 14 places of shelter in partnership with the National Housing Trust, one in each parish, to help mitigate the proliferation of homeless people across the island. We can build more night shelters, but we have to start now to build a culture of personal responsibility where people take responsibility for their loved ones and don't leave them on the street for the government and others to struggle, he said. It is sad that a lot of people on the streets have good families, steady homes, but because the circumstances might not allow the family to accept and appreciate them, they turn them out on the streets. The government is going to be moving effectively to take action against those who continue to abandon their families, he said, to applause from people who turned out for the function last weekend. In our public hospitals, there are over 500 or more social cases where people take their relatives to the hospital and abandon them there. You have families who leave their loved ones at the hospital and go off on a cruise, spend weekends, and have big parties. While this government is committed and doing a lot, it cannot be the government and the private sector alone to give support when people abandon their families. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.